So let's take a look at Bitcoin and let's talk about different strategies on when we can have local tops, because these are really important. As we said, that a break here will lift us to the upside. This has allowed us to enter with an extremely tight stop loss. As well, we discussed setups in XRP and we discussed setups in Solana as well. Now, if you look at something like XRP, we haven't reached the first target. We haven't definitely not reached this long-term target. And in Bitcoin as well, we haven't reached the first target. And we haven't reached this upper target here, which is treating this like a head and shoulders, okay? So I still think we can go up, and I still think we can go up to 147. But let's talk tactics, because it's not going to be a smooth ride. I am hoping it will be a smooth ride. I'm hoping it's going to be the easiest next couple of weeks ever in my life. And the reason why it might be so is, again, because on July 22nd, July 23rd, the US government will publish a report on how they hopefully will deregulate crypto, okay? So I'm hoping that report is going to be good. And if it is really good, yeah, I'll be 150. And if it's super good, it'll be at 200, okay? So I'm very excited. But the problem here is that everybody else is getting excited. I'm also quite heavily long, and I'm up quite strongly. So yeah, this morning I did think maybe I should start to book profits. Because I have quite a big profit percentage-wise, but the number one reason here is that I look on Twitter and everybody's very optimistic there. And Twitter is usually a good tool to understand if the market is bullish or bearish. Now, there's one guy that for the last couple of years, each time he publishes, he would actually mark the top, yeah? So I don't really like that too much. But luckily, the market is actually up since they have been publishing. So what's another tool we can use here to indicate when it becomes more critical? For that, we use CoinGlass and the funding rates. So this is how it looks like when you load the first time. You can press on 1 year, and then you can see here, this gives you the annualized rate. So for example, here, this is obviously the world's biggest crypto exchange. So you can see right now, if you go long Bitcoin, and if this remains unchanged for 1 year, then your total profit or your total cost is going to be 10.95. Okay, this is not extremely high because if Bitcoin just goes up with 10% or 10.95 to be exact, you would actually come out winning. Now these rates go up and down. Okay, there are some, of course, on these exchanges here that are higher, but overall, if you look across the board, they're all within limits. And if you press on funding rate heat map and you lower the scroller like that and you go back to 1 year, then you can see how when we peaked in December, so when we peaked here, so when we had this big move, this is when Trump was elected president in November. It went all the way up. The market peaked here on December 19. So you can see here how everything turned red. So for example, in ETH, at one point here, you pay 50%. So the coin needs to do 50% up so you can cash out, so you can win. And Dodge was 88 and Sui was 64. So you see it gets really critical. Now, in the beginning, it will get red. So we can even spike on these ones. But you can see here that it was a bit patchy. But as soon as it starts to get like this, you need to be worried. Now, we're not really seeing this here, except here on this coin here. And when it gets really critical, like you see here, so this is Solana. So on December 1st or so, it was at 50, then it stayed at that for quite a long time. And then here a bit later, Dodge on the 5th went to 105, and then up and down. So you see when it got really critical here across the board, across many coins, it literally happened, as I just mentioned, roughly on the 1st of December. So we saw that on the 1st of December, which is here. Okay, so from here, the market still did give us another 12% before the market peaked. And we're not there yet. So that is my tip for today, really. Use funding rates to get an indication of how, when we can hit these local highs. The other one, of course, is to watch Twitter. Follow some accounts, see how the activity is there. Try to understand when they post and don't post, okay? Some people are always bullish, for example. You know, that they're not really useful, but it's still interesting to see when they're even more bullish than before, When these I told you or I'm making a lot of money right now, when that comes out, it's a good indication that we can have short-term highs and sometimes even big picture highs.